What is going on, everybody? YouTube world, it's your boy Justin Soltados, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of faith and fitness together. Good to see everybody here in the house. I'm so excited about this message. I really believe if you stay put to the very end, it's going to make a difference in your life. So before we get started, please invite somebody that may need to hear this message, somebody that maybe, has the faith down pat, or maybe somebody that's into fitness, but they don't have them together. It's so important to have faith and fitness together, and I'm explaining to you why today on this live stream. Basically, it's a shame. We're going to talk about a negative part of this journey first. There's a lot of people today that are believers and that are not believers, that are in the church, that are not in the church, that are falling completely apart. They're falling apart when it comes to their bodies. They're falling apart when it comes to their minds. They're falling apart when it comes to their spirits. I see people that are in their 20s that look like they're in their 80s because their body is just not it's just not functioning correctly. It doesn't physically look like it's right. I see people that are mentally really messed up in their early ages, and that's why there's so many people that are depressed and committing suicide nowadays, which is a complete shame. Even today, I believe the guy, I forget his name, Twitch, I think, committed suicide at 40. He had the entire world at his fingertips. He had the worldly success when it comes to the fame, the looks, the wife, the money, the house, but basically something must have not have been right in his mind because he took his own life. And then not to mention the spiritual side, we don't even want to go there. I mean, today more than ever, people are just turning their back on God. They don't believe in God. They want nothing to do with God because they feel like everything is God's fault because they see this big disaster out there that everybody's kind of going through across the entire globe. But I'm telling you, if you stay put, like I said, to the end, I'm going to share with you some light and why it's important for you to have your faith together, but also your fitness together, and why they need to be together in order for you to be effective on your journey. Because it's a shame that people are falling apart, and it's a shame that people are not taking care of their temples. Okay, this is our temple. We get one body. It's a gift, and people are treating it poorly physically. They don't take care of it. They just put a bunch of junk in. They lay around. They're lazy, and it's a complete shame. And this is basically how I got into fitness, because at a very early age, I would say at the age of 28, I became extremely ill, very sick, became systematic with symptoms. And it was a rough road for close to a decade after. I went through a living hell, which we're not going to get into tonight. But that's when I started to learn about fitness and faith and why they were so important together. There's a lot of people that are in the church today that just are like, you know what? Well, exercising is not that important. Foods are not that important. And that's a lie. The Bible says that, physical exercise has some gain. It doesn't say no gain. And that's why a lot of people at the church today are looking for healing that are Christians, because they're completely broken with their bodies because their temples are jacked up. So my encouragement to you tonight is for you to stay put to the very end, because I really believe that you're going to be able to help somebody on your journey and help yourself, because it's a shame that the churches today are supposed to be hospitals for non-believers, but they're basically hospitals for believers. And a lot of it's because of the choices, the lack of the fitness, taking care of the temple. And that's why they're at the church, like I have been plenty of times, looking for that healing. So we're going to put faith and fitness together. And by the end of this journey tonight on this live stream, I'm telling you, you guys are going to get a lot out of it. So basically, I want you to understand something. Muscle has been proven that it leads to longevity. So you don't want to ever lose muscle. When you start losing muscle, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to start losing muscle, and then you start to slowly break down. And as we get older, we start losing muscle a lot quicker. So we really want to preserve muscles, and that's why we want to take care of this body. But I want to tell you that muscle is not the only important thing, because like I said, we're putting faith and fitness together, and I'm going to call this the story of Brian. I'm not going to say his last name, but there was a guy that I used to know, and I've told the story before, that had very big muscles, big biceps, big triceps. His triceps and his biceps were as big as my head, humongous legs, big back, big chest. I mean, he was a freak in nature in the gym, had all these muscles. I mean, if you looked at him, you'd be like, oh my goodness, you are the picture of health. You look amazing. Like you look like a Greek goddess, like just a perfect specimen, perfect body, because he took care of the fitness. He was eating right. He was in the gym. He was dialed into his nutrition. He was dialed into his macros. But the story of Brian does not turn out the way that you would like it to go, because Brian, when it came down to his mental condition, or his mental, his mindset and his spiritual, when it comes to his faith, he was lacking in that area. He said he had read the Bible before. He had told me, and it really didn't make a difference or an impact in his life. And he said that he really didn't believe in it, but I started to see his life just continue to go down the drain. Relationship issues, marriage issues, constantly depressed. And he was leaning on the fitness constantly just to survive. But when you put faith and fitness together, you start to see the importance. Because if you just have the fitness dialed in like Brian did, and you don't have the faith dialed in, then you're going to start lacking with like a mindset problem and a spiritual problem. And I really believe, even if you listen to all the positive quotes out there, if you don't have a true faith and belief in God, you are going to lack in this life. And it's going to be a journey of you constantly trying to go to the gym or trying to be fit just to survive when it comes to your mental mindsets. So what I'm trying to say is muscles themselves will not save you, and faith by itself is just not enough. And that's why I have another friend, I told you guys the story of my friend Nick. He's 40 something years old, completely fallen apart. His life's a mess, cancer, and the list goes on and on and on. I can give you a ton of stories. The reason why I do what I do is to encourage you so you don't become one of those people. I was that person for 10 years, and this is what I have learned on my journey. But without a strong body, you won't have a strong mind. And let me see, that mind, if it is not strong, it's not going to serve you in any which way. That kind of came out wrong. But basically, Jesus himself on his journey inside the Bible, scholars say that he walked 12 miles a day. A lot of us today have a problem with walking at all. But Jesus, the ultimate person that we're supposed to imitate, they said he walked 12 miles a day. And then here we go with the excuses. Well, he was the Son of God. Oh, he had the ability. Oh, he must have had the strength. And then all of a sudden we start boxing ourselves in with the excuses of why we're not taking action to get our temples right. We take our time to pray. We take our time to fast. We take our time to worship. We take our time to read our Bibles, but we don't take enough time to take care of the temple. Or on the flip side, we take care of our temples, but we don't take care of our mind. We don't read the word. We don't believe in God. And the list goes on and on and on. So today's society has a couple issues that I'm seeing. One of the biggest issues is I don't believe unless I see. This is what I hear all the time on YouTube, people on Instagram. Well, I got to see it to believe it. Well, that takes no faith. And if you are in a position to where you feel that way, you are going to be in a world of hurt in the long run. So you have to understand that if you have to see it to believe it, that is just a faith issue. Another issue that I see is people enjoy their comfort too much. They are completely lazy. They just don't want to put in the time. They don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to put in the work. And they just kind of see other people maybe trying to do that. Other people trying to encourage them and inspire them. And they're just, I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. They are lazy, okay? And you got to call a spade a spade sometimes, because in order for you to wake up and understand that you have to do something with this gift. Remember, this is a gift, okay? You get one of them. It is the temple. You're supposed to keep the temple in a certain condition. I don't know about you, but a temple is not a wreck where there's a bunch of junk everywhere. So you have to take care of the temple. And people today are just lazy. They enjoy their comfort. They enjoy their sofa. They enjoy their TV. They enjoy their coffee. I mean, I don't know how people can drink coffee and sit down. Like whenever I drink coffee, it's like, okay, it's time to get moving. It's time to start making things happen. It's time to start going. And then one of the next biggest problems with people today, and this is a problem that a lot of people have, they start, they stop. They start, they stop. They start, they stop. They give up. It's a pattern. And there's been people on this journey that I've seen in the last 5 years where they start something. Oh, Justin, guess what? I'm doing this and I'm trying this, and then they give up. Justin, I'm doing this, and then they give up. And I just sometimes like they don't even want to check in with me because they already know that they're going to have to give me the verdict of like, listen, I gave up. So I'm going to give you some tips today that are going to really help you out, because faith is basically the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. And what I like to say is faith is believing without seeing, and the reward of faith is to see what you're believing for. So if you have faith in just yourself, eventually you're going to fail. So you have to learn to have faith in a greater power. And what I've learned on my journey is whether you're a believer or not, you have to start learning to have faith in God, because there's a lot of people say, oh, I have the faith, brother. You don't have any faith, because when the tough gets going, you get going, you give up, you enjoy your comfort, you become lazy, and you have to put your trust in Him in order for you to do anything in life that's going to matter. If you want to have purpose, if you try to put all your hope in yourself, you're going to come to the end of your rope, and eventually you will give up because it's going to be too much. But when you put your trust in the one above, He's going to give you the strength. Now, if you lean on just that, like, oh, well, God's just going to give me the strength, He's just going to give me the strength, and you feel like you don't have to do anything to strengthen your body, you need to open up the book and start reading it cover to cover and understand. If the disciples were walking and Jesus was walking and they were doing things on a daily basis, Jesus Himself, 12 miles a day, that means that we should be doing something to strengthen this temple, because it has not just a little gain, it says it has some gain. And a lot of people take that verse and they're like, oh, well, it's not that important. And I'm here to tell you, most pastors, I would, if not say all pastors today, they're working out, they're on a regimen, they're going to the gym, they're getting their walks in, they're doing some kind of fitness, they're doing stretching, they're taking care of this temple, because they understand in order for them to be able to do their best work for the Lord, they're taking care of what they've been given. So if you are in a position right now to where you feel like you haven't taken care of like your body the right way for a long time, now it's time to make those adjustments. 2023 is right around the corner, and don't wait till January 1st to do it. Start doing it today and get ahead of the people that are going to start on January 1st, because we already know they're going to quit by February 1st, because I've seen this time in and time again. I've been documenting my journey on Instagram. This is my life, and I do it to encourage you guys. So we talked about the definition of faith. Now, the definition of fitness is as follows. It's the condition of being physically fit and healthy. So right now, if you're not healthy, you want to be on this fitness journey. And even if you are healthy, you want to keep your health and you want to be on this fitness journey so you can continue to be healthy and fit so you can do the things that you need to do in life. You don't want to be that person that's falling apart at 50, 60. I mean, I got a vision of me being able to do this when I'm 90, okay? 90 plus. There's a guy, I think his name's Jack O'Lane, that's running marathons at 90 plus. I forget the exact deal, so don't quote me on it, but like he's like a picture of health in his 90s. So right now you can turn it around. You don't have to be that person that's falling apart with their bodies, their minds, and their spirits. Today is the day that you understand the importance of faith and fitness together. You now know the story of Brian. You don't want to be that person that just focuses in on fitness, but not on faith, and you already understand how important faith is. So I'm going to give you a couple quick keys, and then we're going to get out of here. I'm not going to keep you that long. So this is a verse that I want you to think about. And I thought about this week. I was like, man, like we got to get like one verse that really like completes this message. And I think this verse really makes a lot of sense with what we're talking about. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. Now we're going to stop right there. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. And then it says, as working for the Lord. Okay. So I was making a video this week, just like I made videos before, and some of these videos come out to be 7, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. And that little 9 seconds can take up to 7, 8, 9 hours sometimes. And it's really frustrating. But I always go back to like reminding myself that what I'm doing is working with all my heart as if I'm working for the Lord. Like, this person's not my boss. That person's not my boss. He's the boss. And I have to understand that it says, whatever I do, I'm supposed to be working as if I'm working for the Lord. And that goes with everything. So if you're having a contact with somebody or in a relationship, you're supposed to do it with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. If you're doing fitness, you're supposed to do it with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. If you're eating a certain way, you're supposed to do it with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. If you're learning about the Lord, you're supposed to do it with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. This is basically a really clear definition of what I believe faith and fitness coming together should be if you desire to get results. Because this is one of the next best parts of this verse. It says, you're not doing it for human masters, because sometimes I'll pass out like a video and I'll share it with somebody and I'll say, hey, listen, man, can you share this? Like, it's really important to me because like, I know I'm working for the Lord, but it says, whatever you do, you should be working with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. So if you have an opportunity to do something, you're not doing it for me. You're doing as if you're working for the Lord. And this is the best part about it. It says, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. An inheritance, according to scripture, is an irrevocable gift. So when you serve the Lord and you do it with all of your heart, what happens is you get this inheritance from him, this irrevocable gift. So like every day when it comes to like whatever you're doing, it's an opportunity for you to, serve with faith and serve with fitness. And when you put them together, you're able to do a lot more, because if you're just focused in on the faith, eventually what's going to happen is you're just, like I said, you're going to be that person that's in the church begging for healing, begging for breakthrough, begging for, something to happen, because you didn't take care of the temple. When I was younger, I didn't take care of my temple the right way. And I don't even want to get into that tonight. But my point is I want you to understand that whatever you do, remember, you're working with all of your heart as if you're working for the Lord. You're not working for your boss. You're not working for your brother. You're not working for your dad. You're not working for your friend. You're working as if you are working for the Lord. And it says when you do this, you will receive an inheritance from the Lord. Now, if you go with your faith and your fitness and you just kind of give like a lack effort, all right, I'm going to be a little into my relationship with God. I'm going to kind of seek him. You're not going to get that inheritance this is talking about, because it says, do it with all of your heart as if you're working for the Lord. And it's the same thing with your body. If you're like, all right, well, today I'm not going to challenge myself. I'm just going to do a little bit. And I'm just going to do something and then I'll just feel good. I'll check it off the box. No, you're supposed to, whatever you do, you're working as if you're doing it for the Lord, right? So anyways, faith and fitness together, when you do something, that my encouragement to you is to do it with all your heart, because if you're not going to get the inheritance that you should be getting as a believer. So faith and fitness together. I want to give you a couple quick keys that are going to help you out, okay? When you decide today, next year, to really focus in on like this faith and fitness journey that I believe that you desire, is you're going to start understanding that you are not going to be the person that gives up. The very first point that I want to talk about, and somebody please write this down in the comments below, is you're going to start having a really deep commitment level. I'm sorry about the light. This light's been shining on my face the entire time. You guys can tell me next time in the comments because I didn't really notice it until now. But basically, when you do faith and fitness together, I'm telling you, there's a level of commitment that you start to have towards the smallest things. You become disciplined, you become dedicated, you become consistent. It builds these healthy habits into you because faith is healthy, fitness is healthy, and it's a healthy habit. So when you put faith and fitness together, you will become a committed person. You're not going to be this flaky person. You're not going to be this person that's half in. All right, well, guess what? Today I feel like doing it, so I'm going to do it. You know how many times I don't feel like doing what I do? But I do it. I do it even when I don't feel like doing it. As soon as my body says, listen, I don't feel like doing it, it's probably because I either haven't rested when I'm supposed to rest, or basically I'm just giving into weakness. So as soon as I feel that way, I'm like, no, we're going to do this because we're doing it with all of our heart as if we're working for the Lord. Because just because we don't see the reward right now doesn't mean it's not coming, because the inheritance will come. The reward will come when you don't give up. So the very first thing that faith and fitness provide is they provide you of being a committed person. So the first point is, remember, on this journey, when you're serious about faith and you're serious about fitness, taking care of your body, taking care of your temple, taking care of your relationship with the Lord, you will become a committed person, a person of character, a person with integrity. Now, I didn't say a perfect person, but I said a person that is going to be a committed person, because if you're lax with your faith, lax with your fitness, I'm here to tell you, you will never be a person that is a solid person. You will be a person that gives up on a consistent basis. So the first point starts with the letter C, commitment. Point number 2 is when you do faith and fitness together, you will have this confidence, okay? There's a lot of people today that have zero confidence with their faith because they don't even know what their faith is. They don't know what they believe. They don't know what they're doing because they don't take the time to read and learn and grow and meditate and just soak themselves in it. And when you put faith and fitness together, what happens is you start to build this faith, this belief, and then you build this strength. You build the temple. You become confident because you start to become a committed person, which is a solid person, but you also start to become a confident person. For example, when I started these videos a long time ago, I was so nervous to come on here. I was nervous to go on the camera, oh my goodness, I would just be sweating and pacing and this and that. And now it's just boom, turn it on, let's go. I can do it in my sleep because I've done it for so long and I've been consistent with the commitment. And then also now it's built the confidence. So when you start building this commitment with your faith and your fitness, you're going to be a solid person. I truly believe it. And then you're going to start building confidence. And that confidence is going to lead to the very last C. All points start with the letter C. The first point is commitment. The second point is confidence. And the last C that you need to understand is it's going to build the completion. When you start working on your relationship with the Lord and you start growing with him, you start understanding that he continually grows. You're on this journey, you're growing to become more like him. He's molding you, he's sculpting you, he's the potter, you're the clay. And then before you know it, the book of Revelation says that by the time you meet the Lord, you're going to be the closest version that you are next to him or of him. But it's a journey. It's not like an instant thing. But it has to do with having that commitment to, that faith. It has to do with that confidence in what you believe in. And then lastly, it builds that completion. And it's just like in the gym. When you start working on your temple, you're going to start seeing results. You're going to start feeling results. And you're going to start being completed. You're going to go from the person that says, I can't, to the person that says, I can. The person that starts to say, listen, I'm going to get results. Because I have the belief that, and I understand that, the confidence that he is going to complete the work that he started. He's going to start building that confidence that's going to lead you to completion. And you're going to start having complete bodies, complete minds, and complete spirits. But if you're the person, like I said, and there's been people on this journey that talk to me, and I don't think it's anybody on here, but basically they'll tell me, oh man, I got this new plan and I'm doing this and I'm going to be juicing. I'm going to be this and this and I'm going to start praying. And then like 4 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, hey, how's it going? Well, like my dog ate my homework, right? It's like, come on. It's like, work as if what you're doing, as if you're working for the Lord. You're not working for a human. You're not working for your mom. You're not working for others. You're working as if you're working for the Lord. In Corinthians 9:24, it says, don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, we all run a race, but only one person gets the prize. So run to win. That is the very first verse that we started this whole entire mission off with, is we're supposed to run as if we're running to win. But a lot of us today, we're not running to win. We're just running to like get by. We're just running to try. Like, I really want to be surrounded with people. Like, I started noticing there's certain people that are taking my energy that are really not all in. Like, I don't want to be associated with people that are not going to be trying to do what the Lord says. The Lord says to run the race to win. It says to run with all your heart, like to be committed with all your heart, with everything you do. Not some things, not what you choose to do, not what you feel like doing. What God's put across your plate, you're supposed to do it with all your heart, as if you're working for the Lord. So I just really want to encourage you today, because 2023 is coming up. We got Christmas, we got 2023, and everybody's going to start posting all the fitness videos, and I'm trying this, and this year I'm going to do this. And I heard all of it last year, and nobody followed, not nobody, but a lot of people didn't follow through. So I don't want to see you be that person. And it's really important, listen to me before you get off here, it's really important that you're not going to be that person that's flaky. I'll never forget this, and this is something that everybody needs to understand, is there's people, okay, that like, they may not know the Lord. They don't even know the first clue about the Lord. And I've told this story before. I met a Playboy model, and I was talking to her, and she basically said, unless I can see that with Jesus, things are better, there's no reason for me to even consider it. And in her world, like, she's thinking better, like houses and money and this and that. But you get to a point where that's just not enough. But if you see a person that's like, all right, coming over and they're like kind of frail and they're tired and they're weak and they just don't have the energy to do anything, how do you expect to reach the loss? We have to start like stepping up to the plate. Because if you're just expecting to witness to the people that know about God, you're not getting what the word says. You're supposed to go after the one sheep that's lost. So like when we do things on this mission, on this platform, it's an opportunity to work as if we're working for the Lord, to run the race to win, to be committed, to have confidence, to have completion. And I really believe it's going to have to do with us having faith and fitness together. Because faith by itself, I mean, of course, you'll be saved and, you can go to heaven and stuff like that. But like, what are you doing now? What are you doing on this journey? I mean, there's people in their 70s, 80s. I was at a gym not too long ago. There's this guy in his 90s, and he's just on a treadmill, and he's just trying. The effort matters. But a lot of us today, we don't have effort. We just don't want to do. We don't want to try. I mean, some people are even in their 20s and they're not working out on a daily basis. How in the heck can you be in your 20s? How in the heck can you be in your 30s and see all this stuff online, all this stuff on social media, people dropping all over the place, and you're telling me that you don't have the want or the desire to be able to start doing something with your life? Come on, man. Like, I don't even know what to say, but my point is we, especially if you're a believer and you have faith, you're supposed to be the worth of example, not the worth of like, I don't even want to be like that person because that person's so unfit, with their faith, and they're so unfit with their bodies, right? So let's not be the laughing stock. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that are like the laughing stock. They say, like me and my old mentor used to talk about this all the time. Don't wait until it's too late. If people are dropping in their 40s and they're dropping in their 30s and they're dropping in their 20s and they're dropping in their teens, chances are, faith is one issue, but it could be a little bit more with the fitness thing, that they're dropping quicker because they're not taking care of their bodies, their minds, and their spirits. So the encouragement to you today is to really start understanding that like you need to start doing something now, not tomorrow. Don't care what I'm doing. Don't care what that person's doing. You have a responsibility to take care of this temple, get it fit so you can live your best potential here on life and live with purpose. Stop going to the same, or being in the same situations with the same people that are lazy. If you're around a bunch of people that are quitting and they're lazy and they're gossiping and they don't take care of the temple and they're not fit, it's time for you to make an exit and start figuring out, like, man, I got to get myself right so I can really make an impact. So that's all I got for you today. I really hope that you hold on to this message, that you get serious about your faith. Of course, we talk about that every week, but also you get serious about your fitness too. I'm not talking about lifting weights and going to the gym. You don't have to do all that. But you have to start making it. I mean, my encouragement is start making a regimen, a routine to take care of your temple, take care of your body. Start like really working at whatever you do with all of your heart, as if you're working for the Lord. If you're taking a walk, if you're taking a jog, if you're doing sit-ups, if you're doing push-ups, like today I was on my treadmill and I was running and I was like, oh man, this is kind of hard. I was like, wait, no, like I'm working as if I'm working for the Lord. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by, go to the sauna, do this, da, 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 da. Well, that's you. You've been doing it. I've been doing it, and it wasn't like that from the very beginning. I had to start at a certain level. If you remember, when I lost my health and my whole entire health fell apart, I could lift 1 pound, barely. I was a mess, systematic 1 pound. Now, if you watch your boy Jay on Instagram, that's not going down. That's because I decided to make a commitment, or really go after faith, go after fitness, and then I became a committed person, more of a confident person, and more of a completed person, and I'm still on this journey to become better. I'm not even close to where I desire to be or where I know I'm going to be. This is just the start of it. So my encouragement to you, 2023 is around the corner. We're going to have another message to jumpstart you, to motivate you, to encourage you, to inspire you, to get you ready. But it's up to you. Nobody can do it for you. I can't do it for you. Your pastor can't do it for you. Your family can't do it for you. Your friends can't do it for you. Even your motivational, speaker friend can't do it for you. Your therapist can't do it for you. Your counselor can't do it for you. The only person that can do it for you today is you. So go after your faith. Go after your fitness. Because remember, faith and fitness together are important, because then you can make a bigger impact. And not to mention, you're doing what the word says. You're running the race to win. And if you don't think, if anybody here, I promise you can put me against any pastor on the planet, try debating me when it comes to fitness. There's not one that would even take the challenge, because they know it's important. Faith and fitness together are extremely important. So I hope you guys got something out of this message. Today is the day. Today is the day for change. Today is the day that you start looking at yourself in the mirror and say, enough is enough. I am going to make a routine. I am going to make a regimen. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to have these healthy habits. And I'm going to start seeing that I become a solid person that's committed, that starts to have more confidence and starts to be more of a completed person. Because right now, going into 2023, I'm a wreck, right? So I love you guys. Hope you guys got something out of this message. Don't forget to share this video. Hit the big thumbs up button. Comment if you love your boy Jay. And remember, if you ever want to support this channel, the biggest way you can support it, I don't even ask for financial. There's so many people asking for financial and this and that. I'm just asking to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos. It helps the channel to grow. And we are growing at a rapid rate. 31,000 views just in the last couple weeks. Over 10,000 views this week alone, just on YouTube, not even including Instagram. Over 60,000 views on Instagram last month. We are growing. So this is just a matter of time before it starts compounding and then everything starts to pay off. Because remember, the inheritance, the reward will not be denied, because God's word cannot be denied. My work, my labor is not in vain. I truly believe that. And the same thing with you. So if you feel like you're tired and you feel like you want to give up, don't give up. Remember the importance of faith and fitness together. Have a great rest of your night. Take this one to heart, pray on it, and get yourself going. Let's go. Have a great night. God bless.